This?
That's one I hit.
Yeah, but here it was. Oh, no, up way up top.
The WSAFCA meeting will come to order. First item on the agenda is the agenda approval. I need a motion.
I'll make that motion and approve as presented.
Second. Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Report on the closed session.
The board met in closed session to confer with its real property negotiator under agenda item 1 on the closed session agenda. And with reference to the Sacramento Regional Sanitation District property, the board authorized acquisition of a remnant parcel. With reference to the RMD parcel, the board authorized the acquisition of a different form of utility easement. The board then conferred with legal counsel, and no action was taken under either of the two cases reported in the agenda item 2. That's it.
Public comment on matters not on the agenda. We have no requests. Approval of the June the 16th, 2016 minutes.
I'll make a motion for approval of the minutes as
Second.
presented.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Review of monthly year-to-date revenue and expenses.
Good morning, Mr. President, members of the board. This report is for May 2016. For the month of May, the agency's starting cash position was approximately $8.1 million. We received the second installment of the flood assessment of approximately $1.9 million, bringing the agency's cash for the month of May to $10.1 million. On the expenditure side, most of the activity was related to the Southport project with significant acquisitions of land, approximately $800,000, and a construction payment on Village Parkway to Tiger Construction for $2.5 million. The agency's ending cash position of the month then is approximately $6.1 million for the month of May. Staff is continuing to work with DWR. We currently have $8.4 million in true-up payments in process. We're hopefully going to start seeing some of that money come into the agency sometime in the fall. And we're also looking at other financing strategies with local lenders. The fiscal year ending balance at this time looks to be around $4.5 million. Finance is closing out the books, and so some things will move around, and I'll report on that next month. That ends the report for this month.
Any comment?
No. Thank you.
Bill? Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Consent agenda.
I have a question on that. What does that take the assessment to that people on their tax rolls would be paying?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
Okay, we pay RD 900 taxes on our
The assessment?
Yeah, on our assessments, on our property taxes. And so if we increase the thing 2%, which I'm in favor of, but if we increase it 2%, what does that take it to?
Bill, it's on at about $4.9 million estimated.
No. How much does each property owner then have to pay?
Oh, okay.
Well, it would be 2% more than what they're currently paying, so it just
Right.
depends, so every $100, it's another $2. But it depends on whether you're a commercial property, whether you're residential property, the square footage, and it's, where you're
Okay.
located.
Yeah, so it'll vary with each property within the city limits, or the RD 900 limits, I should say.
Well, this is for the WSAFCA assessment, it's not for the RD 900 assessment. So in WSAFCA's methodology, their calculation is even more complex than RD 900's because it involves square footage of buildings also.
But the maintaining agencies do get a portion of O&M from the overall assessment, so I think it's, 15%?
15%.
Of the assessment goes to RD 900 and RD 537, and then a portion goes to the city for the former RD 811. So as the 2% increase goes into effect, by extension, there's a slight increase to the O&M component as well.
Okay.
I would make a motion of approval of the consent agenda.
I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded that consent agenda be approved. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. So ordered. Regular agenda. West Sacramento project updates.
Morning, Mr. President, members of the board. So I'll just go over some of the highlights from this month's project updates. For the Southport Levee Improvement Project, on the real estate services, staff has been doing a really great job following up and working with DWR Real Estate, Cadastral, and as well as the flood program staff to update DWR on all of the real property acquisition that's been taking place, also the relocations, and then to initiate discussions on final conveyance of property to DWR. Those discussions have been going very well. DWR Real Estate has accepted the real estate plan, and now it's kind of a two-step process. We're waiting for the flood program office to also approve the plan. We're expecting that any day now. And then once that plan is approved, then we can begin invoicing DWR for their share of the property acquisition. On relative to relocation, we're continuing to experience, as you probably heard, a high rate of break-ins at the homes that we've acquired, primarily those along South River Road. We have a contractor on retainer to do board-ups, but with the break-ins, those boards don't seem to stop some folks, so they're having to go back out and fix up stuff after some of the vandals or some of the folks have been there. We've recently put K-rails in front of the driveways to block access. That happened, I think, last Thursday or Friday, and at least thus far over the weekend, no additional break-ins. So hopefully that's providing a barrier to get vehicles and equipment down there that would otherwise assist them with removing stuff from those homes. So we'll see how that goes. All of the asbestos and lead testing for all the structures to be removed as part of the project has been completed. We're expecting results, the test results for the final group of structures to be provided to staff at the end of July. Don't anticipate any surprises with that. On utility relocation, PG&E has completed the majority of the overhead system replacement, poles and wires. We're awaiting execution of a couple of remaining easement documents so they can construct the small portion of underground utility relocation. The new cell tower has been installed, and equipment enclosures for the carriers have also been constructed. And Crown Castle is now working with the utility companies to get temporary services provided to the site. Only one carrier has issued a building permit to complete their relocation work. And it's anticipated that all of the relocation work with the various carriers and final power and everything else will be completed sometime later this year. On the cultural resources inventory, all of the pedestrian surveys have been completed. And we are in the middle of doing our subsurface surveys. Once both of those efforts are complete, then our consultant, GEI, will complete the final inventory report that needs to be prepared and submitted to the Corps and to the SHPO. The Borrow 1 subsurface surveys were completed the week ending July 8. Right now, they're out doing adjacent Borrow. We anticipate wrapping up the adjacent Borrow sites, the surveys midweek, tomorrow, possibly Thursday. Then we would have to move into adjacent to the project site in the offset areas, and some of the fix-and-place areas would be where we would move to next. As you know, Village Parkway improvements have been complete. Right now, the contractor is currently working on punch list items, cleanup work, and also the project closeout documentation. On the West Sacramento General Reevaluation Report, there's really nothing new to provide since the last time. As you know, we have our Chief's report, and the project is contained in both the House and Senate versions of WRDA. They did not get any floor time in July, so at this point it looks like the next window for floor time is in September. We'll continue to monitor it. We're working with our federal lobbyists to monitor, and we'll continue to report, see what happens. I do want to report out that last month, WSAFCA, along with the city of West Sacramento and a number of other public agencies, signed on to a group letter that supported and encouraged Congress on undertaking a WRDA 2016 as soon as possible. So that letter was well received. Our general manager signed that letter on behalf of the board in support of, like I said, getting the WRDA 2016 completed. So. And that completes my updates. Be happy to answer any other questions on any of the other items.
Anything further?
No, I'm fine.
Meeting's adjourned.
Yeah.